All right, so we are 3:30, and I just wanted to give everyone a little update on the snow event that we're dealing with right now. As you know, even for Calgary, this is a heck of a lot of snow. This is a pretty big dump and at pretty inconvenient hours. So as we knew last night, we would have a situation where rain turned into snow and freezing conditions overnight, and the snow would continue falling through the morning rush hour. This is approximately the worst kind of snow event. Because the rain that falls, of course, will turn to an underlay of ice. The ice will be covered by snow, and you'll have a whole bunch of cars out in the morning rush hour. So there's really only a couple things you can do. You can lay down de-icing solution, which we did. You can put down a little base of gravel, but it's not going to do you any good because it's going to get knocked around by the snow, which we did. And you can ask people to just be patient and change their behaviors, which we also did. So we are continuing to work hard through this thing. Let me start with some good news. We don't think that there is significant damage to the tree canopy. We're not seeing snow timber. Again, the number of 911 calls have been relatively low, and emergency medical services is out of code red status as of about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So things are still calm, although the snow continues to fall, and the afternoon rush will likely be unpleasant. But hopefully we're going to have some freezing temperatures overnight. It's still not going to be very nice. Tomorrow morning's rush will still be challenging, but we should be able to catch up on the primary routes and then continue to do work on the priority 2 routes as well. So as such, because we've had such a high amount of snow falling, we're declaring a snow route parking ban starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So if you are on a parking route marked by a blue sign, please move your vehicles and get them off the street. You do not want to get snowed in by the plows this early in the season, I promise. So move your vehicles off the street if you can. These bans can last up to 72 hours, but we call them as soon as we are done those priority 2 roads. Fun fact, we tend to share resources with a lot of our partner cities. So for example, when you have an emergency like the wildfires in Fort McMurray, we're able to send equipment and send help right away. This is one of those rare occasions where only part of the province got walloped by the snow. So in fact, we are able to borrow some equipment from our neighbors, and they've been very, very generous in helping us out. So we've got some plows coming down from Edmonton, as well as from Red Deer and Medicine Hat and one other place. Red Deer and Medicine Hat and one other great place.
Okotoks.
Okotoks, thank you. From Edmonton, really? They didn't get that much snow? I was going to say Okotoks, and then I thought, how could they possibly? All right, Red Deer, Medicine Hat, Edmonton, and Okotoks, thank you for being great neighbors. And no, Mayor Iveson, you are not allowed to drive the plow. And I want to know how you had enough time to film that great video this afternoon. So, all in all, I'm just asking people to be patient. I'm saying thank you, and a special thank you to the city workers who were out all night and who will continue to be on long shifts and a lot of time getting this clean. Thank you to our neighbors. Thank you to those of you who are snow angels. Remember that you still have a responsibility to clear your sidewalk in front of your home, and it's really important. Finally, I'll say that City Council this year has invested a lot more money in snow removal, particularly for pedestrians. Bus stops, seniors, those with mobility issues, and you'll start to see some results of that, but also some experiments over the course of this winter to see what kind of service works the best. So it's a little early, though I'm reminded by Facebook that last year on October 2nd we also had a snowstorm, but the good news is we've got hardworking people out there trying to keep you safe, and our number 1 priority always is everyone's safety.
How much of a gut punch is this to the budget?
No, it's okay. You know, we have a budget that is used to snowstorms, and we never, ever, ever worry about the budget after an event. Our only job after an event is to keep people safe and to clear the snow. The budget, the bills come to me later, I figure out how to pay them, but we've still got money in our reserve, so I'm not worried about that. If we end up with 10 more of these before Christmas, I might start to get a little worried.
In almost 8 years on the job, have we ever brought in help from other communities like this?
I'm not aware that we have, because usually when we get a ton of snow, it's after Edmonton and the northerly areas have gotten even more snow. So this is a very rare occasion. When I saw the pictures of Edmonton with blue skies and autumn weather, I thought, okay. So this is great, and it's really kind of them to be able to help us out because they actually are able to, so it's wonderful.
What do they usually do when we can't bleed on our neighbors? What
Well, so the story here is because we're early in the season, like anything else, like the flu vaccine, like anything else, you sort of have your supplies ready to go at a particular point. And so for us to get, even though we had the forecast and we moved as quickly as possible, for us to get all of our equipment out of dry dock, but even more important for the contractors we use, who may not have been ready with their equipment, to get theirs out of dry dock is where we kind of went, look, we can go a little better. Typically we have city-owned equipment and contractor equipment that gets us through, but this will just allow us to get through more quickly.
One last question, folks, and we got to go. Last question.
The interactions you've had on Twitter with some citizens, some people saying maybe money from the Olympic bid should go towards roads. What's your reaction to that?
It's a great example of what people online call whataboutism, because I can do that with anything. It's super fun, right? What, you're clearing the roads? Well, you should be housing homeless people instead. It's super fun. As a city, we have multiple priorities. We have to work on the immediate term, the short term, and the long term all at the same time. The real problem here, and I understand people are frustrated, but the real problem here is the timing of the snow is such that it makes it tough. You can't plow it before it falls. If anyone actually figures out how to do that, that would be awesome. But even if you clear it before rush hour and it's snowing that heavily during rush hour, it's not going to help much, which we did, and it's still not going to help much. I saw a lot of plows out today on my commute. I know others didn't, but the point being that sometimes timing's just bad. We live in a winter society. Council has for 9 years in a row rejected my budget proposal for a weather dome. So given that, it is what it is. I will say though, I did say this earlier, but I need to say it in front of all the cameras. We have made two important openings today. We have opened the Emergency Operations Center, which allows us to have a coordinated response to the snow, which we only do in the most extreme of situations. But I have also opened #YYC snow pumps, because we got to have a little good humor on days like today, and I want to see pictures of your dogs in the snow.